Now, thank you so much for that, Nicole. Always loads happening in the world of sports on the weekend. Let's move on to this as we finish off this second hour of today. As we mark World Book Day, there's a call for an early intervention targeting early childhood development to increase literacy. It has been previously reported that most pupils in grade 4 do not have basic reading skills. So how can schools raise awareness and foster children's growth as readers and promote a lifelong love of literature? Let's discuss this and how to encourage scholars to read. I'm joined virtually by Ofentse Molefe, the assistant principal from SPARK Randburg High. Ofentse, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Let's first talk about the social benefits of reading. And I'm sure for you and I, it goes without saying. It's a hobby, it's a love, it's a joy being able to escape down the many chapters and pages of a book. But that love would have been inculcated at a certain time in our lives. I was lucky. I was raised by a family of teachers, and books was always easy to come by. Going into a library was part and parcel of a weekly ritual. But the vast majority of children in South Africa do not have that access, do not have that privilege. Where should we even start?
Thank you for having me. I think the conversation starts with, firstly, the availability of resources. We need to continuously make reading a priority, and in our communities, in our homes. And how this is important is that already, like you said, it is beneficial and it's something that occurs every day. Communication, it is very much prevalent in conversation, and therefore reading sparks that. It sparks imagination, it sparks creativity, but thorough, clear communication, as well as grows our vocabulary. Another benefit here is that it really contributes to scholars' self-confidence. I think another thing is that we tend to think that it only comes with learning benefits and literacy skills, but it does come with a form of boosting of the confidence, because scholars are able to access a greater form of knowledge when they actually have access to such information, or even continuously read and expand their vocabulary, expand their thinking, expand their critical thinking as well. So yes,
yeah, and comprehension. I know my mum is a primary school teacher and was always the library teacher at the school she taught at. Would always say it's about comprehension. So a child who can comprehend and who reads well and who loves reading will probably more possibly be better at mathematics and those understanding long questions and formulas and that kind of thing. So the benefits are endless.
Yes. Problem solving is another one. I think we look down upon the essence of comprehension on a very larger scale, as well as problem solving on an even bigger scale as well.
Let's talk about access. Now, I know you are with the SPARK Randburg High. It's a school that does amazing work, often in at-risk communities, or taking in kids that perhaps wouldn't have had the access elsewhere. How can we help our communities get greater access to books or to reading? Because, you know, from what one understands, our libraries, our national libraries are at risk or aren't even in the areas where they could best serve communities. How can we help, or where should we be helping children get greater access to books or to reading material?
Definitely. Schools aren't islands. They don't exist on their own. They're a space in which the community can collaborate with. And I think it goes to say with what we've done as a high school as well. We've started our own mobile library, but how that looks is that parents are able to donate old books to the school that are obviously very relevant to the age group that we teach. And that's how we started to create this mobile library, where scholars have access to this library and not necessarily a room that is just restrictive to just reading, but it's an ongoing thing where scholars are able to access this books. Even in the mathematics class, when they're done with homework, they can open up a book. So I think opening those channels of donation into schools, it doesn't have to be a big funded thing by government. We can start by saying any second-hand books can be donated to schools, and that's where we start to create the culture of reading, because I honestly believe that that has been deterred by technology, and that's how we can then pick up from where we left off, because technology has obscured the essence of reading per se in schools.
And the message to communities, obviously, if it's not being done for you, see what you can put together with the books that you have amongst you, just to try and give access. There might just be 1 or 2 little boys and girls who desperately want to get their hands on an actual book, and it could spark a different route in their lives. Thank you so much for that. That's Ofentse Molefe. She's the assistant principal at SPARK Randburg High. Don't get me started talking about reading and the need to encourage reading at such a young age. It will change your and our lives.